fellow plebs. Welcome to the Respawn Point. Now this is Respawn Mondays, a weekly video game show. Here we talk about some of our favorite games while giving you the latest news updates. Join us here on the Respawn Point every week for help getting back into the game. Now I'm your host, Nick Barry, and with me, my co-host, we have Elias Christensen with us.
Hey guys.
Now, this is your 24th time respawning. And this week, we're going to talk about the spring update for Monster Hunter World. Got some content updates with the new monster, and also there's some balance changes in there that we'll go into. And then also, we finally got some Battlefront II news. So we'll talk a little bit about what that entails as far as the progression overhaul. So we'll be giving you all the details on that. But before we dive in, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been playing. So for me, I'm playing a little bit of everything.
That's what it's feeling like lately. What have you been playing?
Well, so yesterday, all week we've been playing these games, but yesterday I was talking to Jake and I'm like, dude, today we're gonna be playing all day, and we're gonna do them all. We're gonna play CSGO, we're gonna play PUBG, and we're gonna play Fortnite.
Wow.
And we did.
Yeah.
But Fortnite was we only played a few matches because we were both tilted, or at least I was. So we didn't play too much of that. So besides those three games, played a little bit of PUBG Mobile.
Yeah.
Before I came over here. PUBG over on Twitter announced that it was out today. So I downloaded it and I played a game.
Mm-hmm.
I won that game.
Nice.
Got 8 kills.
Whew. That's your first game.
First
PUBG
yep.
Mobile.
Yep.
Not a bad start.
Not a bad start. So it's pretty interesting as far as it's the exact same game.
Mm-hmm.
It has a cool mechanic in it, and we were kind of talking about it earlier, that it auto loots things for you, and you can turn it off, but it's kind of nice that auto loots like ammo, better armor, stuff like that.
I think you were even saying you can specify which features to auto loot or not, or like which equipment.
Yeah.
So you can turn off for certain things or leave it on.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. I'm not up to date with the Xbox version of PUBG, but if they don't have this, they need to add it because the looting on the Xbox is awful because the inventory is not meant for a console. It's meant for PC.
It's meant for a mouse. Yeah.
So if they haven't added that to the Xbox version, it would probably be really great. But besides that, it seemed interesting. There was even like a whole ranking system. And I'm like, why isn't this on the PC version? there's like daily challenges, like all this stuff.
They had announced a couple months ago that they intended to change the ranking system for players below like the top 2% or something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know that we ever got that, or maybe we did. It's just not an equivalent like.
Well, I don't know. Like, do you still check the leaderboards?
I haven't checked the leaderboards.
I haven't either. I think ever since they changed like the menu UI, I haven't even. I don't know if it's just because it's not noticeable anymore. But I haven't even thought about checking it.
Yeah, I just knew I wasn't doing good enough that I didn't want to check it.
Right.
I wasn't doing as good as I was when I was playing it full time, so I didn't want to check it.
Well, like we've talked about, I think they need to add something new to the leaderboard system, like whether it's a ranking system or just something more interactive, something like that, like Fortnite does, perhaps. I don't know, just something that's a little more in depth. Otherwise, I think.
So how does Fortnite's ranking work? I don't even know.
So
I've played some Fortnite.
I'm not so versed on it, but what I do know is that they have the Battle Pass, which resets every season, and every season is 2 months.
Okay.
Or 60 days. I'm not exactly sure how the dates line up, but I think it's like 60 days for a season, and your battle pass. So every new season you reset to 0. As far as your level goes, I'm not positive if that resets as well. That may be a thing. It may not be. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. But the battle pass, whether you have it or not, like for me, I did buy it. So like. If you are committed to Fortnite and you buy it every season, it's a really interactive way of doing challenges, different things to level up that battle pass, which gets you new in-game stuff. So it's very interactive. It keeps you playing. And then just the basic level up system even, I think, does in its own way. You get certain very basic skins or gear.
Yeah, it's funny. I sort of
because in the mobile,
that's a nice system. Like way better than PUBG is for just you get a crate and you get potentially some sneakers that you don't like. So yeah, they could do more stuff like that. I think that Fortnite gets loot correct, whereas systems like CSGO has had and systems like PUBG has are sort of, they're not necessarily frowned upon in the gaming community because a lot of people like gambling, but what was happening with certain CSGO cases on third-party websites and skins and stuff like that is being looked at by government agencies because it could be used to gamble underage. So I think like Fortnite, if you can get $10 from your parents, tell them like, oh, it's so I can progress, and
especially when the game is free.
Yeah, I think it's way more approachable for a parent to understand. Oh, you need $10 every 2 months. Yeah, that's fine. That's cheaper than a WoW subscription. It's like,
yeah, it's cheaper than PlayStation Plus. Yeah,
as opposed to, Mom, I need $50 to open all these cases because I'm gonna win big. Like, it sounds like you're gambling already. Like, so yeah, I get your point like that. As far as the ranking system goes in PUBG, I like the idea of like, bronze, silver, gold, and stuff like that.
Because like the mobile version, as I just found out, it has a level system.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It has a level system in addition to a typical ELO ranking system.
Yeah, something like that. I quickly checked the leaderboards or whatever they call it, and like I'm bronze 5 because I played like one game, and then
you won with 8 kills.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you placed bronze.
Well, because it still says like I'm unranked, so I don't know if you have to play a certain amount of games, but whether the PC version had a separate mode or not, like even say like they had the game how it is, but it automatically ranks you based on more of like a gold or bronze, silver type ranking system, and maybe it then rewards you. Maybe after, if the leaderboards reset every month or whatever system they have in place, say at the end of the month, whatever your rank is, it grants you extra cases or something.
Yeah,
just something to make you care more and it to be more interactive.
Yeah, because what I was going to relate it to, like introducing a standard ELO ranking system as opposed to just a leaderboard like PUBG currently has. Is even League has introduced some things where, for leveling up, you get a champion capsule. If for getting an S+, or maybe, I don't know if you get anything for winning a series, but they've introduced free loot and like a progression system that isn't even that hard necessarily to get.
Yeah. I think it's...
Yeah, I get your point there, but I think as well, like it's a little... a lot of people think of PUBG as this AAA title game because so many people are playing it, and I don't know if they're there yet.
No.
Like, I think it's the same way that League blew up, and League did have tons of problems, even Season 2, Season 3, that they were still addressing, and we're just getting, like, this great looting system, like Season 6, 7, and 8 stuff is coming around. So that's years in development, because games blow up way before they're ready now because of the way people market them.
That's true. And just the way social media is.
The way social media is, and people need money to make things, and seemingly it's way easier to get that money by telling everybody about how great your game is gonna be and getting it.
Right.
Crowdfunded through early access versus going to a board meeting of investors. Which I understand because, maybe investors play video games nowadays, but 10 years ago, probably not so much.
Probably not at all.
Yeah. So, how do we get on this? Oh, PUBG Mobile.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a good little early discussion there.
For anybody that is looking to pick up PUBG on mobile, I couldn't find it in the App Store, but
I think because it came out today, it's still like kind of unlisted because there's no reviews yet.
Yeah.
But it's made by Tencent or whatever. And the way I found it was I just went to the PUBG or PlayerUnknown official Twitter, and they tweeted it out with a link straight to the app.
Yeah, so you can check PUBG's Twitter, or probably by the time you're listening to it, to this, it's in the App Store.
It's actually funny because it's free. Like, I mean, it makes sense, but like...
Yeah, you can't make mobile games cost money unless
anymore.
they're really good.
Right.
You know,
I still think it's funny how, like, PUBG is money on Steam.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I don't know either. Because Fortnite is free. Well, I think, especially the original crowd, where it came from with Arma, expect to pay money.
Right.
You know, it's $60. I think it's still $60. Yeah, you can usually get an Arma 3 for sale, but it usually costs money.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so I was going to say, just to touch on, it's pretty interesting. So, literally, this was happening an hour before the show. Like PUBG, the mobile thing, you texted it to our group chat, and then I was looking it up, and I found Tencent Games made it. I'm like, who's Tencent Games? And I did some very brief research on Wikipedia, so you can't quote me completely, or at least you can't trust this information completely. But it said that Tencent Holdings completely owns Riot Games, and they have a minority stake in Epic Games. So they're a pretty big company. So I'm guessing it's good developers on there. It was just so crazy to me. It's like, what is this company that's like controlling more than half the gaming world? Like between League and PUBG.
Those are two big games.
Those are two pretty big games. So I don't know, pretty interesting. And they have a minority share in Epic, which isn't that a conflict of interest?
Yeah.
Because of Fortnite? And
right.
But then again, it makes sense because of Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine is what's used to make PUBG. So yeah, I was just like, I'm not worried. It's just like, this is weird. Huge companies buying all the games. So yeah, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say then, you know, we played some CSGO yesterday as well. We played some competitive.
Yep. You got your first win.
Yep, got our first win.
Like, did we win?
Yeah, it was great because the two previous matches, or my total of two previous matches, we lost, and that wasn't fun. So we finally were doing good, and we won.
Yeah.
And the game's really fun when you win.
The game is really fun when you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically like, it seemed like the other team was just having issues like we usually have issues. Like not like us personally, but usually like the game before we had two leavers.
Yeah, we had two people leave. Even like, this is almost embarrassing, but Nick was top fragging, and they were yelling at him about how bad he is. It was like, weird. You can't yell at your top fragger like that. Yeah, they were. I think they were already tilted from something else.
I mean, like, if anything, yeah, I'm new and I don't know the straight mechanics of it, but at the same time, I was at the top somehow. Yeah. And, like, I wasn't even totally aware. I was just like, don't get mad at me if you can't play the game that you play well.
Yeah. For sure. So, okay, do you want me to talk about what I did this week? Or
yeah.
I know, for some reason that says we're offline. It still says people are hosting us, and it still says we have viewers. And Ian, sorry we missed your chats. Nick's looking good. You get it from Sketchy Apps too. Like Tutu app. What's Tutu app? It says Respawn Mondays win offline, even though that's not what OBS says. What, did we just get shadow banned?
You can't talk about PUBG anymore.
Yeah, you talked about Tencent Holdings.
Yeah. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. Yep, we're live. Well, that was weird.
What kind of weird shadow ban stuff? Logan Paul comes to the site. Respawn Mondays has to leave. We're gonna have to shut down some of these smaller Twitchers to make room with the bandwidth.
Okay.
Okay, what did I play this week?
Yeah, what did you play this week?
Okay, so I actually did play a little PUBG this week, but just really, I don't know, I was bored one night. Nobody was logging on because everybody's hanging out in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. So I was just chilling, and I played a couple PUBG games. I didn't win or anything. but I did practice backflips on the motorcycle. That's really
Nice.
what I was doing. I was like, okay,
Most
let's get a
important.
motorcycle and just practice backflips. Then, yep, played some CSGO with you. I think I played some CSGO in addition to that during the week, but I forget. The CSGO is becoming a blur because I've been playing so many games lately. I forget
was
which
fun.
days. Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty good. You guys still you haven't experienced it yet, where you get a really fun team where
Right.
everybody's just super chill, like, and making jokes. Like, it'll happen like within the next week or whatever. But
yeah, I almost was having, like, I need, like, a little break after the second one where we won, but I almost had more fun playing that than, like, when we played PUBG. I mean, me and Jake were doing pretty good at first. But yeah, no, like, after playing CSGO for a little bit, going back to PUBG, it's like the aiming is like, wait.
Yeah.
It was super jarring at first. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I'm not used to this.
yeah.
So it took a little bit, but it was fine after that.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Plus, too, something about CSGO that I like is, like, even, like, you experienced it, even on a round where we full save, don't buy anything,
Yeah.
you can still win.
Oh, yeah.
Against,
That's what happened.
Against full buys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you experienced that. So, it's sort of this thing where, like, even though you're starting to get tilted, you need to remember, like, no, we can still win every round. You can come back from a 14-0 if you wanted to.
That'd be nuts.
So, yeah, played some CSGO. It's been going okay. I actually got to play on Cruxel's stream. I got to, he was playing some viewer games. That was pretty fun. I did horrible. I got 2 kills the first game. And, I mean, I was playing way against people, like, way above my skill. But still, I was like, man, that's a big skill gap.
When you're against people who are good, it's just like you can't do anything.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah, with this, I was just even getting, like, a little depressed. I'm like, I am not going to be able to be good at this game ever. But the next game, I got 8 kills, which is still, it's not good, but it's okay. And I was able to, like, clutch around, so that was good. I felt good about it. But it was fun. I've been playing, actually, a lot of League of Legends lately.
yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, because I've been having a lot of fun with Vi. I just ranked up from Bronze 5 to Bronze 4.
Nice.
I don't know why
Killer.
I was placed in Bronze 5, because getting out of Bronze 5 was pretty easy, which is a good thing, and
I'm surprised.
I hope the next couple are going to be just as easy. And I think while I started to play ranked just randomly, like without anybody, like usually I play games with like you and Metro, Cooper, and Connor. Usually mostly just me and Cooper will play a couple, and then we'll go do whatever other game we're trying to do. Or at least that's how it started out a couple months ago. You probably, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know, like, I started playing a couple A-Rams every week or whatever. But yeah, I'm super excited for Mobile Wednesday now. I think I'm going to be making Cooper play some rank. Cooper just qualified. When I ranked up, he qualified for a series.
Wow.
So we're going to hopefully...
Get out of bronze.
Well, no, he's not in bronze. He's silver.
Oh, okay.
He got placed silver.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but still, I mean...
So he used to be in bronze.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For a good while.
Same as me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I think either last season or the season before he got to silver. And I think he could get to gold if he wanted to. I think we could both get to gold, Cooper. Let's go. But yeah, tons of fun on Vi. And other than that, I played a little Deep Rock Galactic. Just a couple games by myself because I've been missing Matt. But me and Matt, I think last week we were able to do one or two successful runs. That game's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even so, I streamed it a couple days ago. I played one round of Deep Rock Galactic by myself, and I made it through the whole thing. Bunch of swarms were fine, but this cave in particular was very long and winding and narrow. And I wasn't doing a lot of like excavating to make them wider. And I got everything I needed. I hit the escape button or whatever to call the drop a pod, and as I'm running to it, I got caught by a couple of giant spiders and I couldn't get past them, and then I died. Which was pretty disappointing because that's like an hour.
Right.
And then I think you get a quarter of the supplies that you got, which isn't too bad, but it was still like, man,
It's better than nothing.
Can't even beat one by myself. So I want to play that game a lot more. I'm hoping, a few more people will be on this week and get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, Ethan comes back Wednesday, so.
Oh, I should try to. Well, I should try to queue with random people too. I should try that. But yeah, that's what I've been playing this week.
Awesome. All right, guys. So before, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a little bit of news. There's nothing much besides Battlefront 2, so we'll kind of go through it quick. Just before that, though, what we want to do this episode is just ask if you are enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the podcast, go over to iTunes and leave us a review, because we would greatly appreciate it, and we love our listeners and our viewers, so that would help us out.
Yeah, I think we said before, we'll give you a shout out. We should work on getting those one. I checked a bunch of other stores and I couldn't find out where they were from. I checked Canada. I checked England. I think I even checked some more obscure English-speaking countries and I couldn't find it. So if you did shout us out, honestly, you can email us.
Yeah, or tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us and we'll give you a shout. We'll figure it out. Tell us what country you're from.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll go into the news here real quick. PUBG actually added a flare gun to custom games, and what the flare gun does is it's a random world drop, and when you find it, you can shoot it into the air, and it will bring you your own specialized crate, kind of like a drop crate, but it's a little different. I think it's guaranteed to have 2 weapons. So that's not in the actual normal game, but it's in custom games. Supposedly, they haven't really said much about it. It's kind of more of just like people kind of found it or something. So.
Oh, so they didn't announce that someone found it.
I think so.
Oh, that's
I mean,
cool.
maybe they mentioned it, but
I was watching Shroud when he was streaming, playing around with it, where he did like a custom game with Banana Man, Waduhek, and some other dude. And they were testing like how many you could send off in the middle of like whether or not you had to send it off in the zone, how many you could do in a game, but it was being affected a little bit by random planes as well. So like if a random plane comes through, I think there can't be a plane on the map when you send it out right currently.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting little addition to the game. We'll see what happens with that going forward. With Fortnite, there's a new limited mode called Blitz, which actually came out today. So you can hop on there and check that game out. Today's the 19th of March. So this game mode is basically just a faster paced, shorter length match. It's a total. It doesn't go longer than 15 minutes. So as soon as you drop, I think the first zone is already coming in. And along with that, loot availability has been adjusted. The likelihood that treasure chests and ammo boxes will spawn during a match has been significantly increased. And floor loot, which is just basic loot spawns.
Stuff stuff you just find in the ground.
Yeah. Spawns 100% of the time. And then
nearly 100% of the time, it says. The
patch don't say 100.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it should be. Maybe they found it wasn't. I don't know.
Okay.
The patch notes say 100%. The spawn interval of supply drops and their descent time has also been increased. And then harvesting resources are doubled. So it sounds fun. I actually kind of want to check it out and play it because it's just faster than... I mean, Fortnite's already a little bit faster than PUBG, but...
Yeah, that could be pretty fun.
Yeah. Get that loot real quick. And then on top of that, the latest update added C4 and llamas, and they also removed smokes. So C4 is a basic, it's basic C4.
Yeah, remote explosives.
Yeah.
So you place it, you run away, you click.
Yeah. So I think if you find it, it gives you 4, and you can carry up to a total of 10. And the llamas are basically like more rare treasure chests. There's only 3 per game. They give you 500 of each resource, 100 of each ammo type, and I think like 3 traps or something like that. And actually, Jake found one game, and it was right in Salty Springs, which is like a town.
Okay. Yeah,
so like it's not like I'm sure it's different every game, but it's not like it's obscure places. It can be.
Oh, okay. It can be right in the middle of the action.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
You
want me to go over the arc stuff?
Yeah, I didn't see this.
Oh, yeah, just real quick. Arc did announce that a mobile version is being developed. They may have talked about it a while ago. I know one thing they had talked about is finishing their mobile app, mobile forum app, like an app for their forums, but they promised, I don't know what the correct word is, functions in the app where you could check on tames or eggs in the actual game on official servers. I don't know how that was going to work. But we haven't got anything more about that, but we are getting a mobile version of the full game, or close to full game. I don't think they have all the maps enabled right now. I think it's just the island. And it's being made by War Drum Studios, who made GTA Mobile and a couple other games, so seems pretty reputable. I'm interested in like how actually used it'll be, but
seems like every game is coming out with mobile.
Yeah, I guess we're wrong, and
it's the thing to do.
Tons of people play games like full-fledged games on their phone. Also, this is semi-related. It's not really Arc news, but it is. PixArk, the Minecraft version of Arc, confirmed that there will be taming in a new video on the Snail Games USA. I believe that's one of the developers on their YouTube channel. So, and it's going to be pretty similar to taming on. I think it'll be a little toned down. Like right now, they just said you can tame with the. They called it the wooden stick as opposed to a club, and sleepy arrows as opposed to narcotic arrows. But yeah, so there will be taming. That's cool. I think it's a lot of people have been saying like, oh, it's not going to be the same, but I think it's going to be pretty full fledged. I think we're going to be surprised with how much you can actually do in that game. Yeah. So that's it for Arc right now. They did say that they were going to release the TLC 2 full notes and everything today, but for some reason, a lot of times with things that come out on Monday, they come out right after the show. So maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. So if anyone's just tuning in, we'll be talking about Battlefront 2 very shortly. Just a couple more things. We got Bridget comes out March 20th, the new Overwatch hero. And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider was revealed. The release date is September 14th as of now. And the full gameplay reveal will be April 27th. So this is the third and final installment of the new Tomb Raider trilogy.
Okay.
So that's exciting. And then, so for Battlefront 2, we'll talk about Battlefront 2 first, and then we'll talk about Monster Hunter right after. Battlefront 2 has announced a progression overhaul update. Now, this will come out March 21st. That's this Wednesday. And so basically, the way the progression works is essentially the way it should have all along. It's something me and Elias have talked about back in the early days of this podcast and show. But so how it works is that you gain XP for whichever class, hero, trooper, starfighter, whatever you're playing as, you gain XP as you play it. Leveling up that class or trooper grants you a skill point for said class, which unlocks or upgrades star cards. The better star cards are locked until you are a high enough level. However, if you already own a card, because this is obviously 5 months or 4 months into the game's life, if you already own that card, you can level it up as at will, as long as you have a skill point. So the level cap for each class is reported to be 70. Levels 1 through 30 exponentially take more XP to level up, and then once you hit level 35, it will be the same amount of XP required for every level. On top of that, you won't receive skill points after level 35. Instead, you'll receive 1,000 credits. And cards you already possess, you get to keep. And whatever class rank you have, so say like you play the Assault class a lot and you are level 30, what they're saying is that you add 1 to that level, and so when this update goes out, you'll start at level 31. It's a little confusing. There's a lot of talk on how you want to spend your credits or your crafting parts now and after the update.
Spencer's saying something wrong with the mic. Can't hear anything. Checked on my phone. You're extremely quiet, but I. Yeah,
It seems fine.
Might be a little quiet, but we can. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I can turn it up on the thing in addition to that. But thanks, Spence. It's pretty funny what you're what you're describing though. It's like, oh, so every other RPG ever, you get XP for playing Sony and you unlock skill points.
So this update for Battlefront isn't anything new as far as games. Like Elias said, like it's very basic. It's what they should have done from the very start. But so on top of this, loot crates aren't in the game anymore at all, and they're not coming back. The customization update will be next month in April, and what they're telling us is that there will be microtransactions, but they'll only be like if they have a skin for Luke, you can spend money on that skin. That's it.
That's good.
So there's no cosmetic loot crates. There's no loot crates. It's just microtransactions for skins. And they've also said that you can spend credits on skins. I'm assuming it'll be an extremely high amount because, again, they're going to want to make money. But at least there is an option to grind for skins. At least maybe you can save up for your favorite hero and get at least one skin.
I like that the opportunity for earning credits after level 35. It also, once you have 35, you basically have, I'm assuming you're going to have a fully leveled character.
Yeah.
It will be at the full potential of its class.
Yeah. So that's what I would assume is that there's only so many skill points for every single card.
Yeah.
At least that's what they're telling us. With this update comes a balance update. We don't know exactly what yet because they haven't revealed the patch notes, but it does nerf the explosive shot bug that has been basically ruining the already ruined game that Battlefront 2 is. So it's a really big bug that everyone's been complaining about, so they finally fixed it after a month. A little bit of big news too is that they've brought back the Administrator's Palace on Bespin from the first game, and this is for Heroes vs. Villains and Blast, which I think I remember when it came out for Battlefront 1, I was like, why isn't this a Heroes vs. Villains map? Because it'd be perfect. So that's pretty exciting for this game.
That's cool.
So yeah, that kind of, wraps it up. It's a big update. There's probably even more. As far as what to do with credits and all of that, I would go on YouTube and look at Balfron updates because he details it really well, and he also was able to go to EA in Stockholm and play it. So it was a little confusing. I know for me personally, I didn't play too much of the game, so I have like a little bit of stuff unlocked, but not a lot. And I'm kind of excited I might actually play again. And I'm glad that I don't have much unlocked because the progression system seems actually like fun now. Like you want to keep playing, and it kind of confuses me as far as they've put so much effort into revamping it, but most of the hardcore players are already gonna be progressed. Like you keep all your cards.
They've worked their way through it.
You can still level up, the classes like a little bit more, I think. But again, it's kind of like, I think what they should have done is, you don't want to remove people's hard work in a sense. So people can keep their cards, but maybe they reset all of the classes to 0. Again, maybe people would have a problem with that, but I think it'd be better for people because then you can progress again in a more linear, normal video game way.
Yes and no. I could see the viewpoint of a person that already has everything unlocked, but wants to experience the new progression update. Then yeah, they would enjoy that. But as far as other people's viewpoints, like let's say you're starting fresh, you're like, okay, we finally got this. Now I'm gonna buy the game. Like if you're a true holdout and said I wasn't gonna pre-order until I see the reviews, and then you saw the reviews and you said I'm not gonna buy the game. Maybe you want to buy the game now. I wouldn't be turned off by people being, way advanced than you or anything like that, because it's the same thing. Like, if you buy Call of Duty halfway through the refresh cycle, yeah, you're going to be up against people who already, prestiged so many times. So Yeah, don't be scared of that.
Yeah.
I
I mean, what they could, I don't know if they could have, but what they should have done, which would have been cool, is that they give you an option when you first log in to reset your progression.
They could do that, yeah.
And maybe they would have, they haven't said they're doing it, nor are they doing it, but hypothetically, I think this would have been cool is if they could ask you, like, do you want a complete reset of just, like, not like your milestones, because those are important, but just, like, the class's gear, or what you could do is just reset, like, the level and not, like, the cards.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That would give people more options of how they want to handle or how they want to play the new progression update. I think, because I'm just viewing it as they've put in so much hard work. They've spent, like, 3 months redoing everything, and it looks really good. It looks like how it should have been, and visually it looks good. I think it kind of stinks because it might be a little too late because a lot of people have already, like, gotten everything.
Yeah, I like the option idea, and something a lot of other games do. Like, I can't think of one specifically now, but I know Ark, whenever they change something about stats during early access, or even sometimes just changed the way they've added something new into the game. They would do a full stat reset. You still had all the points, but you could reset them and spend them differently. And I think some other games have, maybe you want to give somebody the option, but if you're fully built, we'll give you this special skin that you worked through this other progression system.
Yeah.
If you reset now, you'll get this special skin that's only going to be on your account. So, I mean,
I'll say this. DICE is very good at making games.
Mm-hmm.
I think between Disney and EA, making them do basically whatever they want has hurt the Battlefront games, because really, if this game was given another development year, or however they do it, if it was to release this fall with more content and everything, it would be the game that people want it to be. I mean, it has a lot of content, but as far as the progression system or even skins, there's still, like, a lot of things, like, missing. There's a lot of, like, heroes that aren't in the game. If they wanted to make microtransactions, they could have had a full fleshed out skin microtransaction store. They could have done unique things, like you said, like if they had a prestige system, maybe your first prestige, they gave you, like, a one-time skin. Like, everyone gets the same skin, but it's to say, like, hey, you worked really hard, you spent, however many hours it takes to a prestige. It's kind of like that one thing you can brag and show off. It's like a lot of games. Obviously, with money and time, they obviously couldn't do that.
I think things have just changed for them so much, like, in the past couple of months, that they probably did have some content that they were ready to release, and they just knew they couldn't.
Well,
or at least they couldn't in the way that they had planned on, because they were going to charge you even more money for it.
There was data mined files of, like, Obi-Wan and General Grievous before the game even came out. Reportedly, Obi-Wan was already done.
Yeah.
So now we're 4 months later, and there's still no. It really sucks. Like, whatever plan they had went out the window. They turned off microtransactions. They lost all the money they were supposed to get from that, and whatever frequent content updates they were supposed to drop went out the window. Probably to develop this new progression system, which is great. But at the same time, now, I don't know. It's kind of like, is it too late? I don't know. Honestly, like, maybe for people who want to pick up the game for, like, $20,
yeah,
it'll bring new people in, because,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
hey, like, we upgraded the progression, it's good now. Maybe if they haven't announced anything for season 2 yet, but maybe if they do, hey, I'll pick it up for $20. It seems like it's in a better place now. That's what I should have done.
It could go on to have a long shelf life. You never know.
The last game did, I think.
Yeah.
Because of how cheap it was.
Yeah, I think I could see it going, like, 3 or 4 years. I mean, maybe 5. I don't know. But
it kind of, like, depends on what they want to do with it, right? I mean,
yeah.
We've seen games like The Old Republic, which is obviously an MMO, but whatever kind of troubles they've had in the beginning were fixed, and now it's a good game and people enjoy it. If that's something they want to do with Battlefront, they probably could. It just kind of depends on what they want to do, honestly.
I think if they want to have any chance, I think this is something they need to think about, that if they want to have any chance of having a Battlefront 3, they need to be ready to support this game for a long time.
Hey, EA, we know you're listening, so listen up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just think... there needs to be at least some people playing this game in 3 years if you want to release Battlefront 3. And you need to be putting out constant press about how... Or, not you. Other people need to be making videos about this game still.
And there's only a few select YouTubers who have stuck with it even this far.
Yeah. When
you don't have people streaming it, and that stuff helps the game. Like...
Oh, immensely so. Yeah.
So, but like your point, like, would they even make a Battlefront 3? Like, at this point, like, do you continue to support this game? Do you kind of say, we're going to move on? Do you even make a Battlefront 3?
I think before summertime, like June, there needs to be... Season 2 needs to come out, and... Like, they need to start releasing that stuff. I think if we pass, like, June, July time, game's gone.
There's going to be so many new games coming out.
Yeah.
If it's not bad now, it's going to get really bad. Think about how many games are coming out later this year.
Yeah, never mind games on your phone, so you never log onto your PC again. Like,
or even, you know, how big Fortnite is. Like, you think people on PS4 are playing Battlefront over Fortnite?
What would be really good is if they, like Fortnite did with Twitch, is if they could offer some free loot for your Twitch Prime subscription. That could be a little bit of a boost. I could see that.
I don't know. I think
it'd definitely be a lot of press. That's for sure.
It's just they didn't. I don't know. Whatever their plan was, obviously didn't work with the whole microtransaction thing. But like, it's almost like, how can you be so stupid as to not see this happening with how bad the system was?
I also have since we really stopped talking and playing. Battlefront. Since we stopped talking about it and playing it, I've been thinking to myself, like, there's so many other games. Is Star Wars really that big that it's gonna be? I don't think it's ever gonna beat PUBG's numbers or Fortnite's numbers.
Those games are. It's I don't know the right word.
And I really think
not normal.
The way that it was developed, it was like, not only was this game going to be this huge, but people are going to play it forever, and it's all done perfect. So you better give us $80 right now.
It's almost like, I mean, I'm thinking even the latest Call of Duty that had like a lot of hype. It sold well, as far as I know, and then it kind of died down, and people say it's not that good. It's like, it is my point is the generation of making like these AAA shooters that are good for like a little bit and they die down still relevant? I mean, I guess as long as they sell well, they are. But with games like with games like PUBG and Fortnite, or even like League of Legends has been out for forever now. Mm-hmm. Both these types of games, like, it's almost like does the formula have to change for these shooter games?
Yeah, I think the whole idea of a new game every year, I mean, there are new games coming out all the time, so I don't know. But the formula of, you know, we have this series, a new game comes out every year, and you have to buy it if you want to stay with, you know, your friends. I think it works for people who own consoles and want to play with their friends. Which I think probably tends to be a younger... I mean, not always, but tends to be a younger crowd. People that build their own PCs... I don't know. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, like...
I know we both fit into it. Like,
right.
It fits our storyline.
Well, because, like, if you think about PUBG or Fortnite, you know those games are going to be constantly updated.
Yeah.
And they're not going to end. There's not going to be...
are coming to consoles, too. That's the thing.
Right.
It's like...
There's not going to be a PUBG 2. Why? There's no point.
No.
Same thing with Fortnite. It's just, the game is the game.
Yeah. And it's an interesting thing. It's like, there's not going to be a PUBG 2 for a long time. Like, even League of Legends. Has League of Legends changed their game engine ever?
I have no idea.
I don't even know if they would talk about it if they did. But one of the reasons that Counter-Strike has changed so many times is because new engines.
If League of Legends changed their engine, it was when they updated the map.
I would think that, yeah, that's when it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, part of why CS has changed is because of engine changes. I think also just a huge our graphical capabilities, but, for the last 10 years it's been a big change. But now, is there so much of a change to be made? With game graphics qualities?
I don't know. Supposedly it's getting better.
Can things get faster than they? I don't think.
If anything, they can get smoother, higher frame rates, especially in console.
Yeah, that's something that could happen. Yeah, especially on console. And so the only reason I would see PUBG 2 coming out or PlayerUnknown Desert Lands or something would be if there was a major change, like if they wanted to go to Unreal Engine 5.
Right.
Or some,
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen for 10 years.
Right. So, with Battlefront 2, I don't know. All I know is that Disney should look to have other developers make their games. I'm not saying EA shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. Like, has DICE done a good job with Battlefront? I would say no. And I wouldn't say it's all DICE's fault. It's probably EA's fault. Have they done a good job? No. Mostly because they rush the games out. They're not done. They throw in freaking loot boxes that suck.
Mm.
So as far as Battlefront 2 right now, where is it going? I don't know. They've said that they'll continue to support the game as long as it's played, as long as it lives.
Mm.
So people are still playing, I guess. I mean, I know in console usually always stays active, just because you probably have a lot of younger kids who like Star Wars and will just continue to play. I think for like us, it's harder to sell because we have these other games distracting us,
mm-hmm.
and that are just better.
Yeah.
But I think for maybe younger kids on console, or
just people playing. That only have consoles or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though on those consoles you can play Fortnite, and you can play PUBG, and you can play Ark, and all these huge games. I think what would be neat, I don't know, this is just like a weird idea, is maybe they just keep Battlefront 2 around for 5 years, 10 years, and just keep updating, or maybe come up with a cool game mode. Like League of Legends is a mod. All these Battle Royale games started as mods. Somebody figure out something fun to do in Battlefront, make the mod, and then that stays as Battlefront 2, and they never changed the name.
The biggest problem with Battlefront, last thing, because we need to move on, but
yeah.
With Battlefront 2, because it's Star Wars and it's Disney who owns it, there's no type of like creativity that these game developers, who you'd have to imagine, are creative people.
Yeah.
Like, they are. But because they own it and it's Star Wars, it's very hard to make something like that. It's just it's almost like a flawed system that you honestly can't fix.
Mm.
It's not like Fortnite where you can just add new skins and stuff. Like, no, they have to be skins from like the movies. They have to be accurate. They have to be accepted and okayed by Disney and everything.
It has to become part of the canon.
Yeah, exactly. It's honestly just too much.
It's too much, yeah.
In order to make something in a certain time frame, and it sucks, but I think it's just the way it is, and you have to honestly accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
But as far as what the future holds, we don't know. Hopefully, more content is soon. I don't know. I may jump back in. But moving on, supposedly the main event, as we've gone on for 15 minutes, the main event is Monster Hunter. So there's a patch and content update for March 22nd, which is this Thursday. A couple of the highlights, we have Devil Joe, who's a new monster for this game. Anyways, he's in previous games, who's making his appearance. We have some weapon balance changes. Almost all of the weapons have been buffed, besides the heavy bowgun and light bowgun, which have no changes.
Wow.
Yeah, gunners are mad. They're upset. So we have a spring event from April 9th to the 16th next month. And so previously released event quests for the collaborations will once again be available if you happen to miss those. Some exceptions apply. I would assume the Universal Japan event would probably be the exception there. But besides that, all of the event quests will be available once again. We have lucky vouchers increased to 2 per login bonus, so 2 per day instead of 1. Then they've also announced the newest collaboration, which is Devil May Cry, and he has a new weapon, which is a charge blade. I'm super interested just because I play charge blade, and it's normally charge blade is a sword and shield, and for the skin, it's only a sword.
It's only a sword, yeah.
So it looks really cool because like it just looks really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I've never even heard of this game really. Like
I've never played Devil May Cry. I've heard of it, but the trailer they put out was real cheesy.
Yeah?
Like it was super in the style of Devil May Cry, and I was like, oh, okay. Like it was very crossover, but yeah, it looks super cool.
Yeah. Yep. So what we're gonna do is we'll go through the weapon changes. Try not to spend too much time because there is a lot. We'll link where you can find all of the changes in depth in the show notes. So the first thing though is the Great Sword. So charge slash 2 and 3, as well as strong slash, which is when you time the charge right, so it's red. The damage has been increased, and I think the thought behind this was usually what you try to do is you either shield bash to cancel the first 2 charges, or you just let them go in order to get to the third one, which is the strongest. So this way, you have that second slash, which is supposed to do increased damage. So it's kind of to make it worth it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
You want to do longsword?
Yeah, sure. So they made improvements to foresight slash, input timing, and hitbox detection. The time window has been increased, and the hitbox to successfully trigger increased. The damage hitbox increased, which I'm guessing means bigger. I'm not sure exactly like the way it's been.
Yeah, it's basically meant to make it easier. I don't play longsword,
Yeah, me neither.
but I know the move. It's like the backup move, and it makes you invulnerable for a few frames.
Oh,
so it's basically just making it so it's easier to use, and it has a bigger window of invulnerability.
Invulnerability, that makes sense.
So and then there's a bug fix for this where after using Spirit Helmbreaker, not exactly sure what move that is. But you should properly be immune to knockbacks until you land on the ground. Oh, that's
nice.
That's the big jumping and you slash and it sends like a shockwave out move. So it was a bug where if you were in the air, if a monster like hit you, you're supposed to be immune during that time.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get knocked back.
So that's a big bug fix. We have Sword and Shield has a round slash damage increase. And then also the wedge beetles can now be used when using the slinger with your weapon drawn, which is really awesome, actually. So because you're supposed to be able to use items with your weapon drawn, so now you can use your slinger to grapple.
For Sword and Shield, you're supposed to be able to use your slinger while weapon is drawn. That's cool.
Yep.
I want to do that now. I want to play Sword and Shield. Just being able to use flash bug, whenever you want. That's pretty OP. Hammer, charge tier 2, charged upswing stun values increased as well as charged brutal upswing. And then charge tier 3, the charged big bang stun values have been increased. And then, what is Hunting Horn?
Oh yeah,
that's a different. Okay.
Yeah, no. So for Hunting Horn, and so if you miss it, the hammer, I think that last one just meant the charged big bang stun. I think is the final one.
Yeah.
So just overall, there's increased stun values there.
Yeah.
But so for Hunting Horn, the Encore effect for self-improvement melee now also increases your attack power. So it's kind of a buff to yourself. And it's called something new. I forget what it's called, but it'll say something like plus attack power.
Oh, okay.
And then gun lance.
Yeah, so they reduced sharpness loss for shelling and made some attack power increases. Shelling, the damage parameters increased while sharpness is yellow or worse. Okay. Sharpness loss alleviated for all worm stake cannon and wyvern fire attacks. Okay, so that's been made like you lose less sharpness?
Yeah.
Okay. Worm stake cannon and wyvern fire attack damage increased.
Yep. So some nice buffs there.
Yeah.
So now for the switch axe, there's a few things that are actually interesting. So we have the zero sum discharge, which is basically just the element discharge by pressing triangle and circle. Now when you're doing this, you now get a level 4 earplug while in use, which is actually really crazy. Now the top level is level 5, which is immune to all roars. 4, I think, with earplugs, it's kind of an all or nothing thing. You either have level 5 or it's kind of...
You still get affected by it.
Yeah. So what you could do, though, is if you had a jewel, which earplug jewels are really easy to come by, if you had that attached to your weapon, you would know while you're doing that you're immune to roars. You'd have level 5 earplugs, which is really, really strong. So it's now possible to chain the beginning of sword jumping element discharge. So if I'm not mistaken, this is while you're in sword mode and you're pressing triangle. So I think the third triangle is kind of like a two-parter where you do like a double hit and then you jump and swing. I believe if you do that first part, you're able to then interrupt the jumping part into an element discharge.
Oh.
That's what I take away from it, which would be really awesome. Obviously, the patch isn't out yet, so I haven't been able to try it.
Yeah.
We have the zero sum discharge finisher damage increase, it did a lot of damage before. And then mounted discharge finisher no longer causes sharpness loss, which is really big because every time you would pump up the monster with the element or whatever, you lose a lot of sharpness.
Oh.
So that's really big. And then there's a bug fix for the element discharge. After use, you should now properly be immune to knockbacks until you land on the ground. So I'm not... If it's landing on the ground, that's probably the mounted version. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. So another bug fix there.
Okay.
And then I'll cover Charge Blade too.
Yeah.
Just these are like the two weapons I play the most. But for Charge Blade, they've they've basically just changed a few things. It's a little bit of a nerf maybe. Basically, the attack power increased from effects other than that of the artillery skill were adjusted. And then, so for your Ultra, or it's really called the Super Amped Element Discharge, the stun values were decreased for impact files, which most of the weapons have impact files, and that's why it's so strong. So that was reduced. They thought it was a little too much getting that KO off of the Ultra. But we have file stun values increased for all other attacks besides that one. So any axe move, which you deal a little bit of file damage, now has an increased stun value. And then elemental values increase for all attack files. So it's a little bit of a buff for the element file weapons. And then for the super amped element discharge on the element file weapons, the explosions are now spaced closer together to make them easier to hit. So again, an overall buff to the element files. So overall, you're losing a little bit of the stun value from your Ultra, but they're kind of replacing it and putting it on your axe. So there's a little bit more options there, just because I think overall, the Charge Blade is really strong with that move because it takes a little bit to get there, but you can, if you're chaining your attacks together, you can kind of spam that ability. And
okay.
So I think they're kind of they thought it was a little too strong with the stun. I
see. Okay. Do you want to do the Insect Glaive as well, and then I'll do Lance, Dual Blades, and Bow? Because those are Dual Blades and Bow are what I've been playing.
Okay.
Cool.
So for the Insect Glaive, basically they've made improvements to the extra attack power and the length. So noticeably, when you mount a monster, you no longer your extract is no longer being decreased. The duration isn't decreased while you're mounted.
Okay.
Which is really awesome because mounting can take a lot of time sometimes. So you're no longer losing your extracts while you're mounted. So
okay, cool. So for the lance counter thrust, the temporary knockback negation during a successful counter thrust. Okay, so is that like a full knockback negation, like with earplug? Or no, I'm getting confused. Why? So yeah, you won't get knocked back if you can land a successful counter thrust.
Yeah.
For dual blades, they made the demon gauge easier to maintain. Demon gauge can now be increased by demon mode round slashes and demon fury rush. So before, I don't think you were able to gain any increased gauge. And then they fixed a bug where you could not cancel demon mode when transitioning from a demon dodge. Okay. I don't think I ever experienced that, but that would be annoying. Because if you're just dodging and dodging, you want to stop wasting it.
Yeah,
If you're trying to get
so
out.
it seems just more like it's more responsive when you try to cancel it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, so the bow dashing shot fixed a bug where the spread power shot skill effect was applied twice. Fix a bug where the spread.
So the spread power shot is a jewel, or it's a I think it's an armor skill as well. But so
okay.
It's I don't know. It's just a bug fix basically, but
so you were doing too much damage.
Apparently, it was the effect was applied twice. I don't know if it was every time, because if it was, then it's kind of like a nerf in a big way. But so yeah, it was there was a bug there with the spread power skill.
Okay, and the Dragon Piercer fixed a bug where you could shoot past the attack's angle limitations. Now shoot straight ahead of the player regardless of the camera angle. When shot with the camera angle past the attack's angle limitation.
So it's a little. I mean, I thought it was a little confusing, but so I'm not exactly sure because I know like when you start Dragon Piercer, you can still aim it. Are you
not really?
So, no.
No.
So when you press triangle and circle, it's gonna go wherever you aim.
Yeah.
And now
where you're facing.
Okay.
When shot with the camera angle past the... so that's not really... I don't know what they were trying to say with that last sentence. But, yeah, regardless of the camera angle. So, I think before, like, you could be facing one way, but then, like, turn it.
Right.
And sometimes I think maybe that just helped you because you didn't position right.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So now it's just going to make people be more precise.
Yeah. I think Dragon Piercer needs a buff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
I don't know. I mean, because sometimes... Again, I'm not a bow user, so I've only used it a few times. But like, it's annoying if you don't hit the monster right, it does like one little attack, and
it should be way more. Like it should do a lot more damage
because it's a long charge up.
It's a long charge up. I think sometimes even if if you can get to charge level 2 and pull off your full combo and then do a Dragon Piercer, it does do a lot of damage, but it's not. It's not powerful enough that I want to go through that full combo. Sometimes I want to stay back because my teammates are in the fight.
I think it's easier just to do like power shots.
Power shots, and I think just pulling off a quick shot combo and keeping the damage coming at all times, and then you have more chances for a stun and more chances for other effects to take place. That's sort of more my play style with the bow. But sometimes if you have an opportunity, you can use it well.
Plus, you can get those flashy tail cuts.
yeah. Graveyard Dawson. Thanks for the host.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up with the weapons. If you want to take another look, you can follow the link that will be posted in the show notes, or you can find them on the Monster Hunter website. And you can find all the changes in detail if you want to, check your whatever weapon you use again. Or, you can just rewind the podcast.
Yeah.
But so kind of other things that will be added in this patch will be reduced load times, which is like yay. Like, obviously we don't know by how much, but the load times are a little long. I mean, they're not like bad, but anything better is always good.
Yeah.
So a big thing was people could grief you while you're carving and like hit you, and you couldn't carve.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So they've now made it no longer possible. So you're now immune to knockbacks.
So yeah, was it
carving.
Just any move?
Yeah, so like if someone like hit you with like their sword,
okay,
it would like send you. So like a great sword will send you like flying, but even like a little one will just like interrupt you,
make you stumble. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, because it's for when you're playing online against randoms, sometimes you can join an SOS like late, and if you didn't do much, they can grief you.
They can grief you and say no, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
which is
silly.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
I mean, I get you get a little jealous, or maybe it's somebody makes a practice of joining SOSs at the last minute, and that's not necessarily nice of them or whatever, but still, so it's not affecting you in any way.
Yeah, so you can no longer interrupt people, which is good. So you can now carve in peace. You can now return to the gathering hub straight from a quest, which I know was a requested feature, especially because the gathering hub is so high up, you're like never there when you're always at the smithy. And so if you are in the gathering hub to play with big groups of people, it was annoying having to go back to the lowest level and return. So now right after a quest, you have the option to go straight to the gathering hub, which is nice. And so along with that, during the spring event, which again is from April 6th to the 19th, the gathering hub will be decorated with flowers, and I think there's like a flower poogie, all that good stuff up there, so that's cool. They've also added a new specialized tool, the Dragon Proof Mantle. So another mantle. And another notable thing, last thing, is that you can now remake your character, including the gender. But this works on a ticket system. So the game, Capcom's going to give you a free ticket, so you can cash that in to change your character. But after that, you need to buy the tickets.
Oh, okay.
So the first one is free. If you want to change it again after that, you have to pay for it. I'm not exactly sure if that's for your account or for a character. It might be for your account. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't say specifically. But it's important to note though that you can't change your name or redo your palico. So I'm not sure exactly why, but
you know what's funny? This makes me think of. This is sort of switching from Monster Hunter, which we're at the end of anyway. Is that's been an accepted like charge, like in WoW? You want to remake your character? It's going to cost you a lot of money.
Yep.
I think RuneScape had that.
Or like even like League, if you want to change your name, you can use a bunch of IP, but otherwise you need to pay for it with RP.
Or even switching servers before.
Oh yeah, yep.
Costs money, and everybody just accepts that. $10 to remake my character, change my name, no problem. And it's not because it's really that hard for them. It's probably an automated system anyway. It's just it's just a fake fee that we pay, and we accept that.
Right.
Battlefront, listen, gamers will pay fees that don't make any sense. You just have to find the right ones.
I'm sure if Balfron added a fee where
give us customizable characters.
You wanna reset your progression, pay $5. I don't know. People would probably buy it.
No, but if they had
if
they had customizable characters, would you pay $5 to change it if you wanted to switch to a different race or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
you would give tons of money to EA.
So
if they did it right.
We kind of talked about it, but so there's gonna be skins. We don't know how many, but people are gonna buy the skins.
Yeah.
If they have a cool Luke skin, or say they have Chewbacca with C-3PO on his back, people will buy it.
I'm sorry.
Easy.
I'm sorry to have gone back to Battlefront.
No, it's okay. But Star Wars fans are crazy, and EA is just stupid for not doing it right.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
So sort of switching into changing your character's physical appearance, our polls and trivia question for this week is: Elias's mustache real or fake?
Yep.
I don't know.
We don't know. Does he put it on before the show every week? So go over to our Twitter at Respawn Mondays to answer that poll. It'll be up right after the show.
Also comment and let me know what you think about it.
Yeah.
I've been playing with like a little extra length on the sides.
Yeah, I see that.
Tell me what you think.
And then before we wrap up the show, guys, again, the big thing with Monster Hunter is that we're getting a new monster, Devil Joe. He is very much like Basil. He likes to invade your quests. In order to fight him on March 22nd, you need to be into high rank. You need to have beaten the Raytheon quest, and so he will invade. I think it's level 6 and 7 optional quests, and then also high rank investigations. So if you're in high rank, he'll show up kind of like basically just like Basil. And Basil, they showed off. Basil and Devil Joe have crazy turf wars.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're crazy.
So, are you down to play Monster Hunter on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll try to get the high rank.
Yeah, I need to, it's like between Battlefront now and, like, this game, like, I have to, like, get back in these games, which is fine, because I need a break from Battle Royale. But, so, with Devil Joe comes new armor sets, new weapons for every single weapon, and I think that's it. But, yeah, so we got a new monster, which is awesome. Hopefully, there's even more. I kind of thought maybe there'd be another monster or two, but it's just Devil Joe, which is fine. They said during the live stream that the next content update will be next month. So not exactly sure what that means, but so look out for that as well. But yeah, all good things. Monster Hunter, I think they've said this how they're excited coming to consoles because they can update the game with extra content. So it's fun. Something Battlefront just can't do. So, but that wraps up the show this week, guys. If you like the show, you can watch us live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, or you can catch our podcasts over on iTunes or Google Play, anywhere you find podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at Respawn Mondays, and also our archive of the show on YouTube at Respawn Mondays. And if you want to leave us a review on iTunes, we'll appreciate it. We'll shout you out. Yeah. Personally, you can find me at NikkiGirl7, although I'm mostly on our podcast account. You can find Elias
at Tolmaith, Tolmaeith. Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Instagram a little bit. I don't know what I'm playing today. I've been sort of in between games. I've been playing a bunch of different games lately. I think I want to get back to the Kingdom Hearts series. I might start playing Chain of Memories tomorrow night, Tuesday. And we got Mobile Wednesdays coming up. And then maybe some Monster Hunter on Thursday. So, yeah, come stop by.
What are the odds you ever play Balfron again?
I don't know.
No. That's a no.
If you were all playing it, the thing is I deleted it. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I needed the space. So, if you were all playing it, even then, I don't know. Because it just be there's so many other games I can play.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I do sort of.
I get it.
This stuff is sort of neat.
It needs to be more though.
I've been on a real push to not only play. Yeah, I want to play a bunch of different video games, have a variety, but I've been on a push to be good at CSGO, improve. I practice.
Hey, I'll
every
play more CSGO.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I been doing okay at League, striving to do better. So I don't know. Feels like my video game taste changes monthly, what I'm focusing on. But it's less than likely that I'll play Battlefront 2 again.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the show, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening if you're on the podcast. And yeah. So I'm Nick Berry.
I'm Elias Christensen.
And thanks for respawning with us.
We'll see you next week.